Alright, hi, welcome. I don't have a name for, like, a actual name for the channel yet, so, you know. But anyway, God, I sound awkward. I am going to be reading a story. A terrible story. Well, it's really bad, but it was good well, it was never good, but it was considered very good at a time. If it would let me read it. Jesus Christ, ads suck. Anyway, back in like 2000, goddamn, what year was it? Let me see. Let me fact check myself. Back in 2000, what, like 2009, I think this was released? I don't know. I don't know. But back in like 2009, we had the big CreepyPasta. Well, it was before that. It was like started like 2005. But back in around 2009, a story released. Personally, I was never into this guy. I like Take Toby, but I'm saving that. This story is Eyeless Shack. He has a couple of different origins. I know there's one where he was a doctor, or he was a med student, and like a cult I don't know, ate his organs. So it was something weird. There was one where he was a soldier and came back from war. There are a couple of different versions of him, but I am reading I think it's the original version. Like, I think there are a lot of creepypastas have multiple origins, so for all I know, this could be like the fifth version, and I think it's the original. But the one that's not narrated by him, by Eyeless Shack as a character, maybe the original one. Who knows? Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I'm reading it, and this is like kind of an analysis, kind of me just going down memory lane. Also, it's just fun to read older stories, and even if they're really bad. So, enough of me yapping in this intro. Let's get to it. This is Eyeless Shack. I think this came out 2009. I don't know. Please fact check me. Hello, my name is Mitch. Hi, Mitch. I'm here to tell you guys about an experience I had. I don't know if it was paranormal or whatever stupid words people used to describe supernatural phenomena, but after that thing visit me, I believe in that paranormal trash now. Clearly, he doesn't believe in it too much, since he's still calling it paranormal trash. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. After I moved in with my brother Edwin, after my house was foreclosed, I finished unpacking. Sorry. His house was foreclosed. Okay, let's see. Edwin liked the idea of me moving in, since we had not seen each other for 10 years. So I was excited too. That sentence is grammatical. I thought it was. Okay. I soon fell asleep after I moved in. He moved in fast. We didn't even get like him talking to his brother? Yeah, his brother. We didn't even get anything. They didn't conversate or anything. After that first week, I heard rustling noises coming from outside at about 1 in the morning. I thought it was a raccoon, so I ignored it and tried to fall asleep. The next morning, I told Edwin about it, and he agreed. I feel like we're moving really quickly. Like, his house was foreclosed, he moved in, he went to bed, there's a raccoon outside, or maybe a murderer. Who knows? But we're moving incredibly quickly. Also, so far there's been like no actual dialogue. It's all been just what's his name? Mitch? His name was Mitch? Yeah, his name is Mitch. It's just been Mitch just kind of talking and describing, and like kind of well. I don't know. I'm not an English teacher. I don't know. I'm just reading it. And commenting, because why not? So yeah, his brother agrees. The next night, however, I thought I heard my window opening in a loud thump as if someone entered my room. I darted up and looked around my room, but I saw nothing. The next morning, Edwin dropped his coffee when he saw me. He held up a nearby mirror, and I saw myself. I had a large gash in my left cheek. Which kind of... That's terrible. That was terrible. Anyway, but... How did he not feel... This, I'm being too critical, but also, like, how did he not feel it? Yeah, I just woke up. I went downstairs and, you know, just got cut in the face. It's fine. Normal Tuesday. Average Tuesday in, I don't know, Connecticut. Average Tuesday in Idaho. I don't know where this is at. I don't think they ever say where this is at. After I was rushed to the hospital, so it was that deep. He got rushed to that, so it was that deep. After I was rushed to the hospital, my doctor told me that I must have been sleepwalking, but then he showed me something that made my blood turn cold. He lifted up my shirt to reveal a sewn-up incision where my kidneys were. Where your kidneys are, like... How did he not feel it? How did... I stared into his eyes, mine widening. You somehow lost your left kidney last night, my doctor told me. We don't know how, though. Sorry, Mitch. You know, you lost your kidney, but, like, I don't know how. Sorry about that. Yeah, they just stole your heart. They just stole your lungs. I don't know what to do about that. So, well, bye. Sorry about that. Okay. The next night was my breaking point. Around midnight, I woke up to see a truly horrifying sight. I was not gasping. I was staring face to face with a creature with a black hoodie and a dark blue mask with no nose or mouth staring down at me. The thing that scared me the most was that it had no eyes. Oh, not the fact that it didn't have a nose or a mouth and it was blue. Oh, it's a mask. That's on me. That's me being stupid. Not the story. Just empty black sockets. The creature's not the creature, if it's only one of them. The creature also had some black substance dripping from its sockets. I grabbed the camera. Oh, that's where all the fan art gets that from. Because I don't know if you've ever seen the original image. I hope you have, but if not, I'll put it somewhere in editing. I don't know. But in the original image, there's no, like, black goo dripping from it. There's just the black eye sockets and the blue and the hoodie, I guess. I don't know. But like in fan art, which I will also put in editing, so maybe over here, I don't know. But in fan art, it always has like the black drippy things. I never knew where that came from because I didn't remember the story at all. I don't think I've never read the story, actually. So, like, I was only exposed to Eyeless Jack through the fandom, I should say, through other people. So, that's enough of this rant. Anyway, point is, I had no idea that actually came from the story. I thought that was just something people did to make it look cool. I grabbed the camera from the nearby mantle and took a picture. Immediately after taking the shot, the creature lunged at me and tried to claw open at my chest to get to my lungs. Oh my god, this is a scary monster. Let me take a picture. I love old creepypasta because whose idea was, whose first thought is something's trying to kill me? Let me get a picture of it. Oh no, is that Jeff the Killer coming to Jeff the Kill me? Let me take a picture of him. Enough of my terrible jokes. No one wants to hear that. He's trying to kill him. I stopped it by kicking it in the face. You know, that works. If it were, I almost said as I ran to get my lungs. As I ran out of my room, I grabbed my wallet. I would need the money. How do you know that? I ran out of my brother's house into the night. You didn't I forgot about his brother. I forgot he had a brother. It's been like 3 minutes and I already forgot about him. Bro, you just gonna leave your brother there? You're not gonna, like, yell and be like, there's a man trying to kill me. You're just gonna fucking leave. I eventually ended up in the woods near Edwin's house and tripped on a rock. I fell unconscious. What? What do you mean you fell unconscious? He's running through the woods. He trips on a rock. I guess he hits his head or something. It's not said. He just fell unconscious. Unless he passed out. I fell unconscious and woke up in the hospital. My doctor, the same one who treated me before. Oh, he's ready for some grade A medical action. Then he was so helpful the first time. I have good news and bad news, Mitch. My doctor stared at me. The good news is that you had minor injuries and that your parents are going to pick you up. How old is he? His house got foreclosed. He has to talk to his brother in 10 years. How old is his parents? I assumed Mitch and Edwin. Is Edwin? I don't remember his name. But I assume they were like 30, 40 years old. How old are they? I sighed with relief. I signed with relief. The bad news is that your brother's been killed by something. Sorry. You're not even gonna assume it's a person at first? Or an animal? What do you mean something? What do you mean sorry? Why did you say that so casually? Yeah, your brother got killed. My bad. My bad, man. I don't know what to tell you. Let me see. My parents took me back to Edwin's house to collect my... Yeah, I read that correctly. To collect my remaining belongings, which I did. Upon entering my room, I was scared but remained calm. I grabbed my camera and then stopped dead in my tracks. In the hallway leading to my room, I saw Edwin's body. They didn't clean it up! This is an active crime scene. They just let them walk in to grab his stuff. Usually they... Well, I'm not a lawyer or a cop or anything, but from what I know, don't they usually, like, close off the whole scene? You can't grab anything. Also, he grabs his wallet. That's all he needs, clearly. But, like, usually they... With crime, if you don't know, which I also don't know, but to my knowledge, they close off the entire crime scene for... In this case, since it's a house, they'll close it off for a couple of days because it's a murder investigation. But... Or maybe longer than that. But how did they just let him walk in and grab him? Usually, wouldn't they? Even if they let him grab his stuff, he would have needed an escort. He would have needed an escort or like or the cop would have grabbed his stuff for him. I'm pretty sure. It crashed. You piece. Oh no! I have to find it. See, even the website thinks this is insane. Okay, give me like... Oh my god, no. Hold up, let me see if I can get it back up. I've never had that happen. Is the story that bad? Okay, there we go. I got it back. Okay, where was I? I guess the story... They don't want me finishing it. It was Eyeless. Yeah, he did. Or no. That's not his thing. Technology isn't his thing. Oop, I went too far. The trips on the rock. But no, even the website doesn't want me reading this. It doesn't want me to finish it, or where was Eyeless Jack isn't technically, it was been drowned. The hospital, back to Edwin's. Oh, my parents took me, here's where I was. Sorry about my rant. My parents took me back to Edwin's house to collect my remaining belongings, which I did. Upon entering my room, I was scared, but remained calm. I grabbed my camera and then stopped dead in my tracks in the hallway leading to my room. I saw Edwin's body and something small lying next to it. This is gonna be something stupid, isn't it? It's gonna be like his heart or something like that. I retrieved it up. That's such a... I've never heard... That might just be a me thing, but I've never heard someone say I retrieved it up. He grabbed the thing next to Edwin's body. Why are they letting him do this? Where are the cops? I looked at the thing I had picked up and nearly vomited. I was holding my stolen half-eaten kidney. I was right! Well, I said heart, but like I was right. Why did he leave it? Why did he leave The half-eaten kidney with some black substance on it. Oh, that's it? That's the story? I thought it was going to be longer than that. I'll do a second story, but anyway. God, I did not, like, it's not bad. It's not as bad as, like, Jeff the Killer, for example. Not saying, Jeff the Killer is very funny, but it's bad in the sense that it's not professional. I'll read that one next, actually. Why not? But Eyeless Jack isn't bad. They're trying. They're trying, like most creepypastas, they're trying. But they're trying very hard. But also, a lot of things just don't make sense. Why is the doctor so nonchalant? He's not a woman. Bad joke. But like he's very nonchalant about it. And also that like, how old are they? I assume they were like 30 or 40, but his parents are coming, unless his parents are just like ride or die forever, you know? Maybe. That could be the case. Should I read? No, the real question is, should I read Jeff the Killer? Or, you know what? I'm gonna scroll through this, and maybe I'll read Jeff the Killer. Because I might as well make this longer. But no, anyway, back to what I was saying before I get to another story. Eyeless Jack is actually pretty good. It's, as much as I seem like I'm making fun of it and I'm being like a negative Nancy, I actually do. I did enjoy it. It's short. I enjoyed it. I think it's funny. I just think it's very silly too. But you know, it's silly. It doesn't really make sense. Maybe Jeff the Killer? Perchance? Ooh, there's 2 Jeff the Killer. I've never read the remake. I'll read the original, and I'll read the remake in a different video. Or, no, actually. No, I should read both of them in the same video to compare them. Okay, no. Which one have I've never read, ever. Are you gay quiz? Yeah, I am. I don't need to take a quiz for that. What the hell is licking? Let's see. There's ads everywhere. I'll read Laughing Jack. I've never read Laughing Jack, actually. So let's do it. It'll be fun. Because I have time. Might as well. Anyway, so, Laughing Jack. I actually know nothing about Laughing Jack, other than I think it's set in, like, the 1800s. Apparently. And also that he looks very scary. He reminds me of Pennywise. And, like, not in, like... And, like, vibes. Like, not appearance. I also just don't like clowns, and I'm, like, 90% sure he's supposed to be a clown. So, like, we'll see. Yay! Laughing Jack. 2 for 1. It was a nice summer... Yeah, it was a nice summer day. My 5-year-old son, James, was playing outside in the backyard of our suburban home. James has always been a quiet boy. He plays by himself mostly. He never had many friends, but he always had a wild imagination. Good for him. I was in the kitchen feeding our dog Fido when I heard what sounded like James talking to someone in the backyard. I'm not sure who it was he could be talking to, but I read this wrong. That's on me. That's not the story. That's me. I'm not sure he could. God damn it. That's me. I promise. It's not the story. I'm not sure who it was he could be talking to. Could he have finally made a friend? God damn. This mom's kind of mean. Or dad. I assumed. My bad. This parent is kind of mean. Being a single mom. Oh, I was right. Being a single mom, it's hard for me to always keep an eye on my son, so I decided to go out and check on him. Wait, so was she just letting him wander around by himself outside? I'm busy. Go outside. Stay in the backyard. I hope the backyard's fenced. When I went to the backyard, I was a bit confused. Oh wait, no, then it wouldn't be fenced if he's talking to, unless like, how old is this kid again? Oh, she let a 5-year-old leave outside by himself, just chilling outside. I don't think it's fenced in either, because who is he talking? Like, not who, but like, how is he? Unless he's yelling over the fence. I mean, she can hear him from the kitchen, so maybe he is yelling over the fence. When I went to the backyard, I was a bit confused because James was the only one back there, the only person back there. Was he talking to himself? I could have sworn I heard another voice. James, James, it's time to come inside. I called out to him. He came inside and sat down at the kitchen table. It was about lunchtime, so I decided to make him a turkey sandwich. I love sandwiches. That's off topic, I know, but I really like sandwiches. I think they're very good. I think everybody should like sandwiches. If there's only one thing I could eat in the world, it would be sandwiches. Okay. James, who are you talking to out there? I asked. James looked up for a moment. I was playing with my new friend, he said, smiling. I poured him some milk and continued to pry, as any good mother would. Does your friend have a name? Why didn't you ask him to have lunch with us? I asked. James stared at me for a moment before replying. His name is Laughing Jack. I was a bit taken back by what he had said. Oh, that's a strange name. What does your friend look like? I asked, a bit confused. He's a clown. He has long black hair and a swirly cone nose. He's got long arms and baggy pants with stripy socks, and he always smiles. I realized my son was talking about an imaginary friend. I suppose it is normal. That could be I can't remember the name of what it's, a conjugation. Yeah, I suppose it is normal. It could have been, I suppose that's just a nitpick. Like, that's not something wrong with the story. I don't like, I don't like that it's not a conjugation, because I feel like it sounds weird. But that's a nitpick. That's not a story thing. I suppose it is normal for kids his age to have imaginary friends, especially when he has no real kids to play with. That's crazy! I guess it's true, though. It's probably just a phase. The rest of my day went as per usual, and it was starting to get late, so I put James to bed. I tucked him in, gave him a kiss, and made sure to turn on his nightlight before I closed the door. I was pretty tired myself, so I decided to go to bed not long after. I had an awful nightmare. It was... that was terrible. It was dark. I was in some kind of rundown amusement park. I was scared, running through an endless field of empty tents, broken down rides, and abandoned game huts. The whole place had a horrible look to it. Everything was black and white. The prize stuffed animals all hung from nooses in the game huts. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, I thought that made no sense. My bad. That's a me thing. That's not a story thing. All with sick grins snitched. I can't talk today. Jesus. All with sick grins stitched on their faces. It felt like the whole park was looking at me, even though there wasn't another living thing in sight. Yeah, that sentence makes sense. Then suddenly I began to hear music play. The sounds of Pop Goes the Weasel being played on a squeeze box. What's a squeeze box? I've never heard of that. That's a me thing. That's not a story thing. I've never heard that. Is that like one of the thingies that oh, that's Pop Goes the Weasel. Why am I? But is that what a squeeze box is? I don't know. I'll Google it later. I'll probably put a picture of it somewhere. The sounds of Pop Goes the Wheel. Pop Goes the Weedle, like Pokemon. The sound of Pop Goes the Weasel being played on a squeeze box echoed through the park. It was hypnotizing. Just like black and white swirly things, just like Laughing Jack. I followed its tune to the circus tent, almost in a trance, unable to stop my legs from moving forward. It was pitch black. The only light came from a single spot shining on the center of the big top. I've never been to a circus. I didn't know they were like a real thing for most of my life. I thought it was a thing they made up for movies. That's a side tangent. But I always thought that was something that they made up in movies. you know, just because why not? Or things that used to exist that don't really exist anymore. Like, I didn't know circuses were real. I've also never been to the circus to this day. As I walked towards the light, the music slowed down. I found myself singing along, unable to stop. Is it Pop Goes the Weasel? All around the mulberry bush. Oh, I was right! It was Pop Goes the Weasel. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all in fun. I don't know the lyrics to Pop Goes the Weasel, so I'm singing this kind of weird. I'm also not a singer, as you can tell. The music stopped right before its climax, and suddenly all the lights shot on. Pop goes the weasel. That's not in the story. That's something I added because just why not? The intensity of all the lights was practically blinding. All I could see was a small dark silhouette shuffled towards me. Is it Laughing Jack? Then another one appeared, and another, and another, and another, and another love and a ball. God, that was cringe. I'm not. That was very cringe. Another. There were dozens of them, all coming towards me. I couldn't move. My legs were frozen. Frozen. I said it wrong the first time. All I could do was watch as the haunting figures drew near. As they got closer, I could see. They were children. As I looked at each one, I noticed they were all oh my god! They were all horribly disfigured and mutilated. Some had cuts all over their bodies. Others were severely burnt, and others were missing limbs, even eyes. Oh my god! Oh my god, is that gonna happen to her kid? It might. The children enveloped me, clawing at my flesh, dragging me towards the ground and tearing inside me. As the children tore me apart, I faded away. All I could hear was laughter, horrible, awful, evil laughter. Perchance it's Laughing Jack. That's his thing, maybe. I'm making jokes just because I genuinely didn't expect that. Because, like I said, I've never read this story. Also, I'm very clearly wrong. This is not set during the 1800s. Unless there was another one that was set during the 1800s. Because, like I said before, the Eyeless Jack one, there are multiple versions of different stories. I should save this towards the end. Let me finish reading. I woke up the next morning in a cold sweat. After taking a few deep breaths, I looked over and saw that a few of James's action figures were positioned facing me on top of the nightstands. I sighed. James had probably woken up early and put these here. I gathered up all the toys and made my way to James's room. I said that wrong. However, when I opened the door, not my door, James was sound asleep. I just shrugged and placed all the toys back into his toy box and headed out to the living room. A little while later, James woke up and I made him breakfast. He was quiet and seemed a bit groggy. Perhaps he didn't sleep well either. I decided to ask him about the toys. James, honey, did you put the toys in Mommy's room this morning? His eyes shot up at me for a moment and then quickly glanced down back at his cereal. I can read sometimes. Laughing Jack did it. I rolled my eyes and responded, well, you tell Laughing Jack to keep the toys in your room. James nodded and finished up his breakfast, and then decided to go play out in the backyard. Yay, there's more! This is a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. Oopsie. It's fine. I went to relax in the living room, and I must have dozed off because I woke up a couple hours later. Shit, I need to go check on James. I was a bit worried. It had been over 2 hours, and I haven't checked on him. I stepped out in the backyard, but James wasn't there anymore. I was getting nervous, so I called out to him, James, where are you? Just then, I heard a giggle come from the front yard. It's not James, it's Laughing Jack. Or I'm completely wrong. I don't know. I never read this. I rushed through the gate around to the front of the house. James was sitting on the sidewalk. Oh, I was wrong. I breathed. If I'm grammatically correct, I breathed a sigh. I might just be stupid, but that might be grammatic. I breathed a sigh. I can't speak. Jesus. I can't read. I can't speak. I can't do anything. I breathed. I can't say this. A sigh of relief and walked over to him. How many times have I told you to stay in the backyard? James, what are you eating? James looked up to me and then God damn it. James looked up at me, then reached into his pockets and pulled out a handful of hard candies in all colors. This made me very nervous, as it should. Where did he get it from? James, who gave you that candy? James just stared at me, not speaking. James, please tell mommy where you got that candy. James hung his head down and said, Laughing Jack gave it to me. My heart sunk. I kneeled down to look at him in the eye. James, I've had enough of this damn Laughing Jack. He is not real. Now this is a very serious situation and I need to know who gave you that candy. Have you ever considered that Laughing Jack is a real person, but is a weirdo and not a made-up friend? Maybe you just have a clown wandering around your neighborhood. It sounds stupid, but I can imagine it too. People are weird. The world is weird. I could see my son's eyes tear up. But Mama, Laughing Jack did give me the candy. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. James has never lied to me, but what he's telling me is impossible. I made him spit out the candy and that's grammatically incorrect for once. I throw the rest away. No, wait, no, I'm wrong. That is I make him, yeah, because that's in present tense. Yeah, that's on me. That I thought I caught a grammatical error. I did not. James appears to be fine. Maybe I'm just overreacting. After all, he could have gotten it from Tom and Linda next door, or Mr. Walker down the street. Either way, I'm going to have to keep a closer eye on James. That night, I put James to bed as usual, and go to bed early myself. Oh my god, there's more! I made a mistake. This video is going to be way too long. It's fine. Suddenly, I was woken up by a loud bang coming from the kitchen. I sprung out of bed and hurried downstairs. When I got to the kitchen, I was horrified. Oh, it didn't explain the dream. Or I guess she didn't have a dream. Good. Everything on the counter says, oh my god! Everything on the counters had been thrown on the floor, and our dog Fido hung dead from the light fixture. His stomach was I don't want to read this. The same type that James was eating earlier that day. My shock was quickly broken by a sharp scream coming from James' room, followed by loud crashes. I quickly grabbed a knife from the drawer and moved up the stairs with the speed that only a mother whose child was in danger could have. I bust through the door, flicked on the lights. Everything in the room was knocked over and tossed on the floor. My poor son is in his bed crying and shaking with fear, a pool of urine staining the sheets. I scooped up my child and ran out of the house and went next door to Tom and Linda's house. Luckily, they were still awake. They let me use their phone, and I called the police. It didn't take them long to arrive, and I explained what had happened. They looked at me if I were crazy. They searched the house, but all they found was a dead dog and 2 trash rooms. The officer told me that someone had probably gotten into the house and done this right before making a quick escape, and when they heard me coming up the stairs, I knew it wasn't true. All the doors were locked and none of the windows were open. Whatever was in my house didn't come from outside. That's insane. That's a wild switch up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, golly gee. The next, I'm being comedic, but like I genuinely didn't expect that. That scared the crap out of, well, not scared, but startled, I guess is the right word. Ignore the truck backfiring outside. I guess startled would be the right word. The next day, James stayed inside. I didn't want him to leave my sight. I went into the garage and found his old baby monitor, set it up in his room, set it up in his room. If anything comes into it tonight, in his room, that made sense. I was going to be able to hear it. I went to the kitchen and grabbed the largest knife from the drawer and put it on my nightstand. Imaginary friend or not, I'm not letting anything hurt my little boy. What a great mom. What a good mom. Soon enough, night came. I put James to bed. He was afraid, but I promised him that I wasn't going to let anything happen to him. I tucked him in, gave him a kiss, and turned on the nightlight. Before closing the door, I whispered, "Good night, James. I love you." You see, why didn't she let him sleep with her? I feel like that would be safer. That's just a nitpick. That's nothing that's important. I tried to stay up as long as I could, but after a few hours, I felt myself drifting off to sleep. My baby would be safe for the night, and I needed to sleep. Just as I laid my head on the pillow, I heard a soft noise coming from the baby monitor. I had it put on my nightstand. I hope it's on your nightstand. Where else are you putting it? Your bathroom? That's me being, that's a bad joke, I know. At first it sounded like interference, like the kind a radio would make. Then it turned into a soft moan. Was James asleep? Then I heard it, the laugh from my nightmare, that horrible laugh. I sprung up from the bed. God damn it, why do I keep saying bread instead of bed? I sprung up from the bed and grabbed the knife from under my pillow. I rushed over to James's room and creaked the door open. I tried the light switch, but it wouldn't come on. I took a step in and could feel the warm, thick liquid on my feet. Oh my god. Oh no. I have a feeling I know where this is going. I'm not going to say anything now yet. Suddenly, James's nightmare came on, and I could see the absolute horror laid out in front of me. Oh my god, and there's an ad, like, in the middle of the screen. I don't know I'll explain it because I can't, like, put it on screen. But there's an ad in the middle of it breaking up the two paragraphs, so I have no clue what's happening next. Oh god. Oh my god! James's body was nailed. Oh my god. Oh, I can't read this. Okay, so I'm gonna describe this in a way that's not incredibly graphic. The kid got crucified, basically. And also, they cut open his chest and his organ his organs are not where they're supposed to be. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not great. I don't want to make a joke to lighten the mood because I feel like it'd be inappropriate, but, like, yeah, basically he got crucified. Oh my god, there's more. Also things were removed that weren't supposed to be removed. I will let you read the story for yourself if you would like to, because I'm not reading that out loud. I was disgusted. I could hardly believe this was my baby boy. Then I heard it, the soft, desperate moan. James was still alive, my baby, my poor baby, in so much pain, barely clinging to life. I ran across the room and vomited on the floor, but my sickness was interrupted by a horrible cackle coming from behind me. I spun around, still wiping bile from my mouth. God damn, no! It crashed again! Oh no, it didn't. It didn't crash. We're good. Bile from my mouth. Then out of the shadows emerged the fiend responsible for all this horror. Laughing Jack, his ghost white skin and matted black hair hung down to his shoulders. He had piercing white eyes surrounded by the dark black rings. His twisted smile revealed a row of sharp, jagged teeth, and his skin didn't look like skin at all. It looked almost like rubber or plastic. He wore a patchy black and white clown outfit with striped sleeved. God damn it, stripes. What? He wore a patchy black and white clown outfit with striped sleeves and socks. That doesn't make sense. It's fine. His body itself was grotesque, his long arms hanging down past his waist, and the way he was poised made him look almost boneless, like a rag doll. He let out a sickening laugh, as if to let me know he was pleased with my reaction to his work. He then turned around slowly in front of James and began to laugh even more at the horrific sight he had laid out. That was enough to shake me from my terror. I snapped, "Get away from him, bastard!" I rushed at the monster, raising a knife above my head and stabbed down at him. But as soon as the knife touched him, he disappeared in a cloud of black smoke. The knife passed right through and pierced James' still beating heart, splashed the warm blood on my face. No, what have I done? My baby, I killed my poor baby. Immediately, Oh, I immediately fell to my knees and I could hear sirens in the distance growing louder. My boy, my sweet baby boy, I promised Mommy would protect you, but I failed. I'm sorry, James. I'm so sorry. Police soon arrived to find me in front of my son, still wielding the knife covered in my baby's blood. The trial was short. Insanity. I was placed in the I don't know how to say this, prepopulous house for the criminally insane, where I have been for the past 2 months. It's not so bad here. The only reason I'm awake now is because someone is playing Pop Goes the Weasel outside my window. I'll talk to the orderlies about it in the morning. And that's where it ends. Oh my god, that was really good, actually. I don't really have like any negative things to say about it, other than like personal nitpicks, which is like I did not like the graphic description. Well, it wasn't even that graphic. I just don't like the description of children being mutilated. And my cat is walking in front of the camera. What are you doing? Come. She's ignoring me. But like, that one was really good. It's better than Eyeless Jack. But no, when did this come out? Let's see, when did this come out? It was longer than I thought it was going to be, so this video is going to be very long. It does not give me a date of when it came out, just like Eyeless Jack, because they hate me. I'm kidding. But no, this was really good. I thought it was set in the 1800s. Wait, unless it's a different story. It could be a different story. Because they tend to, yeah, so it could have been possibly a different story. But it was really good. It was really, really good. I do not like Laughing Jack. Why is he targeting children? Like, bro, why are you murdering children? Maybe the one set in the 1800s is his backstory? Maybe? Unless they're written by completely different people. They could also be the case. But, like, I think, like, if I were to compare the two, which is, you know, not really fair because they're two different stories. But if I were to compare Eyeless Jack and Laughing Jack. Oh, they're both named Jack. That's perfect, actually. You know what? They're the same story now. They're both named Jack. It's the same guy. I'm kidding. But if I were to compare Eyeless Jack and Laughing Jack, the ones I've read today at least, Eyeless Jack, I find really funny just because like the concept is not the concept, but like everything is very out there, like the way the characters behave and everything, and also just things not making sense. Like why did they let some guy just walk into a crime scene? Like, I know he's technically not just some guy because he's, you know, he lived there, but like he is some guy. He's not a cop, so like, or a detective or whatever. But like Laughing Jack did make more sense, where they're like people thought she was crazy. Like it wasn't super obvious, but like they clearly thought she was crazy. She ended up with an insanity plea. And also, I find it interesting that, like, you could see it as he's targeting the parents more than the children. Like, is technically murdering kids, but in this whole story, he was torturing the mom, not the kid. He was actually pretty chill with the kid, other than that end bit where he crucified him. But he only did that to kind of get her in trouble. I don't get it. Like, is there a reason he's targeting? Like, they don't have to explain that in the story. I think some of the best horror stories are when the killer isn't explained. Like, they don't explain the killer's action. Like the original Black Christmas, the one that came out in 1972, I want to say. But the original Black Christmas, for example, they never explained why Billy was murdering these girls. He just did it for shits and giggles, basically. He was just murdering these women just cause. Like, not even cause they were women type thing. He was just murdering just to murder them. Or at least we never got a reason behind him targeting the girls or why he's murdering people to begin with. I think some of the best horror stories are like that because it makes it more scary, because it's like, you'll never get an answer to why they're doing it. Unlike, for example, Michael Myers, he kills people because he's mad at, well, in the original, it's because he's trying to get to Laurie. But in the sequels, it's because he's mad at Laurie, so he's taking out he's trying to take out her and anyone who gets in his way. Or Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. He's killing people for revenge for his mom, and his mom was killing people to get revenge for him, thinking that he had died. But, like, they're not, I don't find that as scary because you know why they're doing it to a certain extent. So it's like, oh yeah, you know, that's just Michael Myers. He does that because he's mad at his sister or whatever. But, like, I do like, I'm keep repeating myself, but I like stories where you don't, I like horror stories where you don't know the killer's motivation, because I feel like that makes it scarier. That's why I find, but only when it's executed well, because in Eyeless Jack, you don't know why he's targeting these guys either. You don't know why he's killing them. Or, yeah, he killed somebody. You don't know why he's trying to kill Mitch, or why he killed Edwin. But also, it's just not executed well either, because I think they were trying to go for, like, oh, he's a cannibal trying to murder people with the spooky element. But, like, I feel like that was a story where the motive could have been explained a little bit. Of course, I don't think there's a way to execute it well the way the story was written, just because it wouldn't have. But then again, Mitch did almost get murdered, and he grabbed the camera and took a picture of him, so anything was on the table at that point. But, like, it felt like they were going for, like, a supernatural cannibal type thing, which, you know, could have worked. I just don't think it was executed well. And you can also tell, like, because I don't know the person who wrote it. I don't know when it was written. My guess was like 2009, but it could be wrong. But you can tell that they have the, what's it called? The, like, seed to start being a very good writer. But they weren't quite there yet at the time that was written. Where, like, they had ideas. They knew how they wanted to execute them to a certain extent, but they didn't execute them well. Or in this case, I'm not, like, hating on the story. Everyone starts somewhere. I'm also not the greatest. Like, I will admit it, I'm not the greatest writer, especially when it comes to horror. I'm not a good horror writer, but from a reader's perspective, that's just my opinion. But no, I like both of them. I like both of them. I just find Eyeless Jack funny. Mainly because of the doctor being so nonchalant. But Laughing Jack, I find more scary, especially because of the, like, imagery and the descriptions of just everything. Like the dog. I'm not gonna, like, read it again because that's insane. Or the kid getting murdered. But not even the graphic stuff, but the description of the carnival, even though it wasn't, like, super duper, like, descriptive, like, because it was still descriptive, but it wasn't like, oh, you could smell popcorn and you could hear it popping and it sounded like cannon fire or whatever. It wasn't, but it was descriptive enough that it was still unsettling to a certain extent, and I feel like that worked for it more. Also the fact that, you know, like I said before, you don't know why Eyeless Jack, not Eyeless Jack, you don't know why Laughing Jack is doing this. He could be doing it for shits and giggles for all we know. Maybe he just likes torturing people. That could be it. It is a creepypasta. But yeah, I like both of them. Do I think Eyeless Jack is a good story? No. Is it, do I still enjoy it? Yes. You can, I feel like you can like objectively bad things. Laughing Jack, on the other hand, do I think it's a very good story? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Not as much. I do enjoy it still. I just don't enjoy it as much as I did Eyeless Jack, but that's because I find Eyeless Jack very funny. But like I said, Laughing Jack is still a really good story. It was great. It was great. it was kind of graphic. I didn't like that, but that's also just me nitpicking. That's not an actual criticism of the story. And then again, it wasn't that graphic. I just think it was more intense because it was a child. And also, I get very nervous with that when it comes to creepypasta, because sometimes they just do it for the, like, shock value and not because it actually fits in the story. Like, what's the Squidward suicide, that story, they had, like, descriptions of dead children, and it wasn't good. Like, I don't think it was good, just because, not because of the descriptions of the dead children, but because it felt unnecessary. Like, the amount of detail they were going into. You can just say there's a dead kid. It's okay. We've all read Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, not read. We've all played or watched someone play Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not joking. I'm joking that Five Nights at Freddy's is not the only thing with dead children, but, like, you know, sometimes you don't need the descriptions. Laughing Jack, I do think the descriptions were beneficial. I think it made it more scary. But yeah, that's my opinions on two whole stories. Next time, I'm going to read both the original, or actually not even the original, it's the second Jeff the Killer, the one that came out in 2012, and the reboot, I guess is the word for it. And maybe Pastas? Maybe Pastas. I'll read all three of them. You know what? I'll read all three of them. I do like Pastas. I've read it. And I've read the original. I never read the reboot. I didn't even know there was a reboot. So I'll read all three of those next time, and I will compare the three of them to each other. Pastas is very long, I know that, so that video will be, like, extra long. So maybe I'll have, like, mini videos in between that one. But thank you if you watch this all the way through, because I know this is gonna be long. And good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Have a good day, or night, or evening, wherever you are. And watch another one of my videos eventually, please, and thank you. Peas and carrots. Peace.